Every year, more than 1 billion tires are removed from cars, trucks, buses, and motorcycles around the world. Think about that for a second. 1 billion giant rings of rubber suddenly becoming useless every single year. So, where do they all go? Are they buried underground? Burned? Stacked into massive mountains somewhere? The truth is that the journey of an old tire is far stranger than most people realize. When a tire wears down, it doesn't simply disappear. The rubber may no longer be safe for driving, but the tire itself is still incredibly durable. In fact, that's part of the problem. Tires are designed to survive extreme heat, freezing temperatures, heavy loads, sharp rocks, and thousands of miles of abuse. Once they're thrown away, they can remain intact for decades. Years ago, millions of discarded tires ended up in enormous tire dumps. Some of these sites contained millions of tires piled high like black mountains. At first glance, they looked harmless, but they created serious problems. Tires trap rainwater, turning into perfect breeding grounds for mosquitoes and other pests. Even worse, tire fires can burn for months or even years. Unlike ordinary fires, burning tires release thick, toxic smoke and oils that can contaminate soil and water. One of the most famous tire fires occurred in the United States, when millions of tires caught fire and burned for days, creating an environmental disaster. Events like these forced governments and industries to find better solutions for dealing with old tires. Today, many worn-out tires begin a process called tire recycling. The first step is collecting and transporting them to processing facilities. There, powerful machines shred the tires into smaller pieces. Steel wires embedded inside are removed using giant magnets, while fibers are separated using specialized equipment. After shredding, the rubber can be transformed into a material known as crumb rubber. These tiny rubber granules may look insignificant, but they have dozens of surprising uses. One common destination is athletic fields. Many artificial turf sports fields contain crumb rubber spread between the synthetic grass blades. The rubber helps cushion impacts and improve playing conditions. Old tires also find their way into playground surfaces, running tracks, and rubberized flooring. By recycling the material, communities can reduce waste while creating safer surfaces for sports and recreation. Road construction is another unexpected destination. Engineers discovered that ground-up tire rubber can be mixed into asphalt. Roads made with rubberized asphalt are often quieter and more resistant to cracking. So the next time you're driving down a highway, there may be pieces of old tires hidden beneath your wheels. Some retired tires are transformed into fuel. Because tires contain a large amount of stored energy, certain industrial facilities use specially processed tire-derived fuel to help power operations. Cement plants, for example, sometimes use shredded tires as a supplemental fuel source. While this approach remains controversial in some areas, it can recover energy that would otherwise be wasted. Not every tire gets shredded right away. Some still have enough tread remaining to be reused. A process called retreading gives certain tires a second life. During retreading, the worn surface is removed and replaced with a new tread layer. This is especially common for commercial truck tires because it can significantly reduce costs and material consumption. In fact, many airplane tires are retreaded multiple times before they are finally retired. Most passengers never realize that the tires carrying their aircraft down the runway may have already lived several previous lives. Scientists are also finding increasingly creative uses for old tires. Some have been used in construction projects, erosion control systems, and even artificial reefs. Although not every experimental idea succeeds, researchers continue searching for ways to turn tire waste into valuable resources. Despite these advances, managing tire waste remains a huge challenge. Millions of tires are still improperly discarded every year. Illegal dumping continues to occur in many regions, creating environmental and safety concerns. As the global number of vehicles grows, the volume of worn-out tires continues increasing as well. The scale of the problem is staggering. Imagine every vehicle on Earth periodically replacing 4 tires. Now multiply that by hundreds of millions of cars, trucks, and motorcycles. The result is a never-ending stream of rubber that must be handled responsibly. Fortunately, modern recycling systems are becoming more efficient. Improved technology allows facilities to recover more rubber, steel, and fiber than ever before. Some companies are even developing advanced chemical recycling methods that break tires down into raw materials that can be used to manufacture entirely new products. The goal is to create a circular system where old tires become valuable resources rather than waste. Instead of viewing a worn-out tire as garbage, industries increasingly see it as a source of materials waiting to be recovered. So what happens to the millions of tires removed every year? Some become playgrounds, some become roads, some help fuel industrial processes. Others are reborn as retreaded tires and return to the highway once again. What looks like a useless piece of worn rubber often begins an entirely new journey. And as recycling technology improves, the tires rolling down the road today may eventually become the roads themselves tomorrow.